Good morning, everyone. Today I want to talk about a simple yet powerful concept: no excuses. This isn't about being perfect or pretending we have it all together. It's about stepping into our lives with courage, accountability, and honesty. It's about owning our choices no matter how hard that may feel. Excuses are comfortable, aren't they? They shield us from discomfort, failure, and judgment. But here's the truth: every excuse we make is a brick we lay on the wall between us and the life we want to live. We all have reasons to hold back. Maybe you feel too small to make a difference, too overwhelmed to start, or too afraid of failing. But here's what I've learned: the magic doesn't happen in the shadows of excuses. It happens when we face our fears, take responsibility, and step forward anyway. Let me be clear, this isn't about shaming ourselves or ignoring challenges. Life throws us curveballs and sometimes we fall. But the difference between living fully and merely surviving lies in the choices we make after the fall. Do we point fingers, or do we stand back up and ask, "What now?" Excuses shield us from discomfort but keep us stuck. Think about how often we rely on them to justify inaction. "I don't have time," "It's not the right moment," or "I'm not good enough," are phrases we've all told ourselves. They feel safe because they remove the pressure to act. Excuses are like soft cushions. We lean into them when the world feels too sharp. But here's the thing: those same excuses that make us feel safe also trap us. They keep us from taking risks, from trying something new, and from stepping into the unknown where growth happens. When we make excuses, we might convince ourselves that we're protecting our pride or avoiding failure, but what we're really doing is building invisible walls around our potential. Excuses become habits, and those habits can quietly become the reason why dreams are delayed, relationships are neglected, or opportunities slip away. What if we paused every time we felt an excuse rising? What if instead of giving in, we asked ourselves, am I protecting myself, or am I holding myself back? Growth lies in the discomfort of stepping out from behind excuses. It's not easy, but every time we push through, we show ourselves what we're truly capable of. Taking responsibility is the first step to personal growth. It's easy to look around and point fingers when things don't go as planned. We might blame circumstances, other people, or even luck for our setbacks. But the moment we shift from blaming to owning, something powerful happens. We begin to reclaim control. When we take responsibility, we're no longer waiting for someone or something else to fix our problems. We acknowledge that while we can't control everything, we can control our actions, choices, and mindset. This isn't about taking the blame for everything that goes wrong. It's about recognizing that we have the power to influence how we respond to life's challenges. Responsibility is about saying, this is where I am, and this is what I can do to move forward. It's not always comfortable, especially when it means admitting that we've made mistakes or fallen short. But growth rarely comes from comfort. It comes from facing the truth with courage and choosing to learn from it. The beauty of responsibility is that it's empowering. It shifts us from feeling like victims of circumstance to becoming creators of change. It teaches us that growth isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest, accountable, and willing to do the work. Owning our choices empowers us to change our narrative. Every decision we make, big or small, contributes to the story of our lives. Yet, it's tempting to avoid ownership when things don't go as planned. We might downplay our role, rationalize poor decisions, or blame external factors. But here's the truth: until we acknowledge our choices, we remain stuck in the same patterns, repeating the same mistakes. Owning our choices means recognizing that while we can't always control what happens to us, we have the power to decide how we respond. It's about accepting that our actions and decisions have consequences, both positive and negative. This kind of ownership isn't easy. It requires self-reflection, honesty, and sometimes admitting to ourselves that we could have done better. But in that process lies incredible strength. When we take ownership, we reclaim the pen to our story. We stop letting excuses, fear, or the opinions of others dictate our path. Instead, we become active participants in shaping the life we want. It's not about being perfect or getting it right every time. It's about learning, growing, and taking steps forward with intention. There's power in saying, "This is my life and these are my choices." That simple declaration shifts the narrative from one of helplessness to one of empowerment. It reminds us that no matter where we are or what has happened, we can choose to write a new chapter. Excuses create barriers between us and our goals. They may feel harmless in the moment, a convenient way to avoid discomfort, failure, or judgment. But over time, these excuses stack up like bricks, forming a wall that separates us from the life we want to live. Every "I can't because" or "maybe later" becomes another layer that blocks our path forward. When we rely on excuses, we limit our ability to see what's truly possible. We convince ourselves that the obstacles in our way are immovable, when in reality they often stem from fear, self-doubt, or a reluctance to step out of our comfort zones. These excuses might keep us safe from immediate risks, but they also keep us from experiencing the growth, success, and fulfillment that come from pushing beyond them. The real danger of excuses is that they can become a habit, an automatic response to challenges or opportunities. Over time, we might not even realize how often we're saying "I can" instead of "I'll try." These patterns of avoidance reinforce the idea that we're powerless or incapable, when in reality, we're much stronger and more resourceful than we give ourselves credit for. Breaking free from excuses starts with recognizing them for what they are: barriers we've created ourselves. It means questioning the stories we tell ourselves and being honest about whether those stories are helping or holding us back. When we choose to dismantle these barriers brick by brick, we open up a world of possibility. The path to our goals may not be easy, but it becomes clearer and more attainable when we stop hiding behind excuses. Life's challenges are real, but how we respond defines us. No one is immune to setbacks, hardships, or failures. These are universal experiences that remind us of our humanity. While some challenges are out of our control, unexpected losses, missed opportunities, or difficult circumstances, how we choose to react in those moments determines the course of our lives. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when faced with adversity. We might want to retreat, complain, or find someone or something to blame. But in doing so, we give our power away. When we focus solely on what went wrong or how unfair the situation feels, we remain stuck in a cycle of frustration and helplessness. Instead, we have the opportunity to shift our perspective. Challenges, while painful, often come with lessons hidden within them. They teach us resilience, patience, and the importance of perseverance. Each time we face a setback and choose to learn from it rather than dwell on it, we grow stronger. This doesn't mean ignoring the difficulty or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging the challenge, allowing ourselves to feel what we need to feel, and then deciding how to move forward. Our responses to life's challenges are what define our character. They shape our mindset and build the foundation for our future decisions. Every time we choose to respond with courage, accountability, or hope, we're not just navigating the present, we're setting a precedent for how we'll handle whatever comes next. Challenges may be inevitable, but they don't have to define us. It's our responses that truly determine who we are. Falling is inevitable. What matters is how we rise. No one goes through life without stumbling. We all face moments of failure, disappointment, or struggle that knock us down. These moments can feel overwhelming, as if the weight of the world is pressing us into the ground. It's natural to feel frustrated, embarrassed, or even defeated when we fall. But these experiences aren't the end of our story. They are opportunities for growth and transformation. Falling is part of being human. It's a sign that we're trying, taking risks, and stepping outside of our comfort zones. While it's tempting to view falling as a sign of weakness or inadequacy, it's actually a vital part of the process that leads to success. No meaningful accomplishment comes without setbacks along the way. In fact, those who achieve the most in life are often the ones who have fallen the hardest but refuse to stay down. The key lies in how we respond when we're down. Do we let the fall define us, or do we use it as fuel to propel ourselves forward? Rising requires courage, self-compassion, and resilience. It's about taking a deep breath, assessing what went wrong, and asking ourselves what we can learn from the experience. It's about choosing to move forward, even when it feels easier to give up. Each time we rise after falling, we grow stronger. We develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We build resilience and confidence, knowing that no matter how many times life knocks us down, we have the strength to get back up again. Falling may be inevitable, but rising is a choice, and it's in that choice where we find our power. Choosing action over avoidance leads to transformation. It's easy to put things off, to sidestep difficult decisions, or to ignore the tasks and responsibilities that make us uncomfortable. Avoidance feels safe. It allows us to dodge fear, failure, and even judgment. But every time we choose to avoid instead of act, we place our growth on hold. We delay progress and allow opportunities to slip through our fingers. Avoidance often disguises itself as harmless procrastination or rational excuses. We tell ourselves, I'll do it tomorrow, I need more time, or I'm not ready yet. Well, these thoughts might feel valid. They ultimately keep us stagnant. The truth is, waiting for the perfect moment, the ideal conditions, or absolute confidence is an illusion. Transformation doesn't happen in stillness. It happens when we step forward, even when the path isn't entirely clear. Action doesn't have to be monumental to be meaningful. Small steps are just as powerful as giant leaps. What matters is that we move forward, that we choose to do something instead of nothing. When we take action, we create momentum, and with momentum comes possibility. Each step, no matter how small, builds upon the last, leading us closer to our goals. Inaction, on the other hand, breeds doubt and fear. The longer we wait, the more daunting the task or decision becomes. But when we take action, we reclaim our power. We show ourselves that we're capable, resourceful, and willing to face challenges head on. The act of doing, even if it's imperfect, creates confidence and opens the door to opportunities we never thought possible. Transformation isn't about avoiding fear or failure. It's about moving forward in spite of them. Living without excuses fosters authenticity and fulfillment. Excuses are often a mask we wear to protect ourselves from discomfort, fear, or judgment. They help us avoid vulnerability by giving us reasons not to take risks, try something new, or step into the unknown. But while excuses may provide temporary relief, they also create a gap between who we are and who we aspire to be. When we stop making excuses, we step into a space of honesty with ourselves and others. It's not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about owning our choices and being accountable for our actions. Living without excuses means looking at our lives with clarity and taking responsibility for the things we can control. It's about acknowledging where we've fallen short and having the courage to make changes instead of hiding behind justifications. This kind of authenticity is liberating. When we stop deflecting and start embracing accountability, we discover a sense of freedom. We no longer feel the need to explain away our decisions or pretend to be something we're not. Instead, we align our actions with our values, creating a life that feels true and fulfilling. Fulfillment doesn't come from avoiding challenges or sidestepping responsibilities. It comes from showing up fully, even when it's hard, and giving our best effort. It's about learning from our experiences, growing through the process, and knowing that we are living with integrity. When we let go of excuses, we open the door to a more authentic and meaningful life, one that reflects our true potential and aspirations. At the end of the day, we'll regret missed opportunities more than failed attempts. Failure, though uncomfortable and often discouraging, is rarely something we look back on with deep regret. In fact, many people find that their greatest learning and growth come from the times they tried and failed, not from the moments they hesitated or avoided action. It's the missed opportunities, the moments when we let fear or uncertainty hold us back, that we tend to regret most deeply. When we avoid taking risks or stepping outside our comfort zones, we often do so in the hope of protecting ourselves from failure, disappointment, or embarrassment. But in doing so, we sacrifice the chance to learn, to grow, and to experience the fullness of life. We end up looking back, wishing we had taken that leap, spoken up, or followed through on that dream. It's not the times we failed that sting the most. It's the times we've held ourselves back, convinced ourselves we weren't ready, or let the fear of failure dictate our actions. Missed opportunities have a way of lingering in our minds, creating a quiet sense of regret. They remind us of the possibilities we never explored, the relationships we never nurtured, or the dreams we never pursued. And while it's natural to feel that sense of loss, it also carries with it an important lesson. The cost of inaction is often greater than the cost of failure. By choosing to act, even if it leads to failure, we are actively engaging with life. We are saying yes to the potential for growth, connection, and success, but when we choose inaction, we deny ourselves that chance. At the end of our lives, we won't look back and regret trying and failing. We'll regret the opportunities we didn't take, the paths we didn't walk, and the chances we didn't seize. At the end of the day, we'll regret missed opportunities more than failed attempts. Every opportunity we pass up carries with it the possibility of a what if that lingers long after the moment has passed. These regrets don't necessarily come from the things we tried and didn't succeed at, but from the things we were too afraid or unsure to even attempt. When we fail, we experience disappointment, but we also gain valuable insight, resilience, and often unexpected rewards. Failure teaches us something about our limits and our strengths, helping us grow in ways that we never could if we had avoided the challenge altogether. On the other hand, missed opportunities leave us wondering about the paths we could have taken, the dreams we could have chased, and the experiences we could have had. These moments of inaction often leave a void, a nagging sense that we let fear or doubt dictate our choices. It's easy to convince ourselves that we'll have another chance, that the moment will come back around. But more often than not, the world doesn't work that way. Opportunities are fleeting, and waiting for the perfect moment or the right conditions only makes it more likely that the chance will slip through our fingers. What we fail to recognize in these moments of hesitation is that regret isn't just about missing out on what could have been. It's about robbing ourselves of the growth and the experience that come from pushing through the discomfort of uncertainty. The fear of failure might be daunting, but the fear of never having tried at all is far worse. When we avoid taking action, we create a life full of questions that never get answered, dreams that never get pursued, and potential that remains untapped. As we look back on our lives, it's not the failures that will stand out most, but the moments we chose to stay safe, to wait for better timing, or to hold back from what we truly desired. These missed opportunities have a way of haunting us, leaving us with a lingering sense of what could have been that is far more difficult to shake than the disappointment of trying and falling short. In the end, we all face moments of hesitation, doubt, and fear. But the path we choose in those moments shapes the story of our lives. The real question isn't whether we will face challenges or setbacks, it's whether we will let those challenges stop us or inspire us to keep going. Let's choose to move forward, even if it means stumbling along the way. Let's embrace the discomfort of growth and the lessons that come from both our successes and our failures. Because at the end of our journey, it won't be the things we didn't do that we remember most. It will be the courage to keep going, the willingness to take risks, and the strength to rise after we fall. Let's live without excuses, choose action over inaction, and embrace every opportunity with the knowledge that we are capable of more than we imagine. Thank you.